Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Yo Nityamachyutapadaam Vajayugma Rukma Vyamo Hatastathitarani Trinayameni Asmad Guroho Bhagavato Siddhaik Sindho Ramanujasya Charanau Sharanam Prabhadhe Yasya Smarnamatrena Dvaitavasana Pramichyate Bodhatmakaya Namastasmai Bhagavate Shri Ramarshe Hridakashe Sadabhantam Shantamanandarupinam Jnanabhanumaham Vande Sadgurum Shri Satyasayinam Amantaryaminam. Happy Vinayaka Chaturthi to everybody. This is an excerpt from Swami's Discourse on the 10th of September 1984, on the Vinayaka Chaturthi day of that year. Parameshwara invited his two sons, Vinayaka and Subramanya, to go around the world and said, whoever completed the trip first would get a fruit immediately. Subramanya mounted his peacock and set out on a race with zest. Ganapati, who was cast in a big mold and had as his vehicle a mouse, was no match for his younger brother. How could he hope to go around the world? A little while later, seeing Subramanya approaching the place, Ganapati circumambulated his parents and sitting before them claimed that he had gone around the world. Parvati asked him, without going around the world, how can you claim you have done so by merely going around us? Ganesha replied, O mother, the whole earth is permeated by both of you. If I go around you, is it not equal to going around the whole world? You are omnipresent, and to go around you is equivalent to circling the universe. Parameshwara presented the fruit to Vinayaka and said, because you have such a keen intellect, you shall be the master of all the spirits. It is for this reason that Vighaneshwara is worshipped by one and all before performing any auspicious function, whether it is entering a new house or performing a marriage ceremony or any other religious function. So this is a story that all of us know about. We've all heard it, read about it. But as I was going through the story, it occurred to me, actually, what is the logic behind this whole story? It is not simply a contest between two sons of Shiva and Parvati. The fruit is jnana. Jnana param. That is how it is described in Tamil. The fruit is not merely some apple or a mango. It is actually the fruit of wisdom. And so, the terms of the game were set like this. He who can go around the world, meaning he who can understand this world, transcend this world, will get the fruit of jnana, of wisdom. Subramanya immediately jumps onto his peacock. The peacock is known for its vanity. As proud as a peacock, we say. So that is simply referring to ahankara. So when we seek to enter into this world or conquer this world with ahankara, we may be able to do so. We may certainly be able to, depending upon how big we are, how great we are, how much we have accumulated and accomplished, we may certainly be able to bring this world under our control with our ahankara. Many people have done it before. Many rulers have created empires that spanned continents. If you go into our Puranas, we find so many people: Hiranyakashipu, Ambarisha, Mahabali Chakravarti. But if you come into more contemporary history, then people like Alexander, Genghis Khan, these kind of the British colonial empire, all of this is entering into this world with Ahankara, the peacock. Yes, he certainly went around the world. There can be no doubts about the fact that Subramanya certainly went around the world. But he did not get the fruit. The point of going around the world was actually to get the fruit. He went around it but did not get the fruit. Who got the fruit instead? Ganapati, who is called Ganapati, is not his name. The poor fellow doesn't have a name. It's sad. He does not have a name at all. His real name is Sumukha. Sumukha is his real name. Even that means good-faced one. When his mother created him, he looked very nice. So she gave him the name Sumukha. Otherwise, every name, Sumukhascha, Ekadantascha, Kapilo, Gajakarnikaha, all different names are there, no, for him. All the names are simply terms which mean something. Ganapati, Lord of all the Ganas. Ganesha, Isha, the Lord of all the Ganas. Vigneshwara, the Lord of all Vignas or obstacles. Gajamukha, one with elephant face. Gajanana, again one with elephant face. Lambodara, one with big stomach. Everything is merely a physical descriptor or job description for him. He doesn't have a name at all. Think about it. What is his name? Vakratunda, one with a crooked trunk or curved trunk. Ekadanta, the one with one tusk. Yeah. Palachandra, the one with the moon on his forehead. Once in a while he used to go into his father's wardrobe. When we were small and young, you would go into father's wardrobe and take his tie and try to tie it around your neck. Like that here, he snuck one day and took his father's snake and tied it around his waist as a belt. Then took his father's moon and put it on his forehead. So Balachandra. Gajavaktra, Gajamukha. All of these are simply terms for descriptors of various either attributes or physical form. What is his actual name? Vinayaka means one who does not have any Nayaka, any leader above him. He is a supreme leader. There is no leader above him. But what is his name? We sing so many bhajans, no? Ganesha bhajans. What is his actual name? He is nameless. Does not have any name. Why? Because you know who he is? He is Buddhi. He is intelligence. His real name is Buddhi. His real name is Viveka. His real name is intelligence. Everything else is only an appellation. This is the real name. Because that is what he is. So when Subramanya went with Ahankara into this world, he certainly conquered the world, but he did not get the fruit of wisdom. What did Ganesha do instead? He says here, you are omnipresent, and to go around you is equivalent to circling the universe. The whole earth is permeated by you. So in the end, what can give you jnanam? The understanding that one alone exists. That one alone has become all of this. That one is omnipresent. That ekam is advitiyam. It does not have a second. It is an inward vision, not an external, outward oriented vision. Because he had that inward vision, because he understood the omnipresence of divinity, he was able to secure the fruit of jnana. Otherwise, we are reducing, unnecessarily, unfortunately, we are reducing holy and sacred truths into playful pastimes of two brothers. And instead increasing competitiveness between siblings. And then the story goes, it doesn't stop there. Because we have to, if we say everything esoterically, it is not so interesting story. Then Subramanya became so angry, it is not fair, you did not give me the fruit. So he quit Kailasha and went to Parani and stood on top of the hill with a stick in his hand and a loincloth around his waist, like Ramana Bhagavan. Then everybody had to come and cajole him, persuade him. That's not the point. Point is he didn't get the fruit. Whether he wants to become angry and go stand somewhere else or not, he's still not going to get the fruit. Because he went about it the wrong way. It doesn't matter who it is. If he did the right thing, he will also get the fruit. If he did the right thing, he will get the fruit. That's why he has got a bone to pick with fruits. When Avayar comes and sits down under a tree, he plays with her, teases her with fruits. Chutta padam venduma, sudata padam venduma. He didn't get fruits. So he is trying to tease others with fruits. Nice story it is. Avayar was a Tamil poet and she was very devoted to Ganapati. Ganesha devotee she was. But her Tamil was so nice and wonderful and her spiritual greatness was also equally commendable. So one day as she was traveling in her journey, it was hot and she was tired and thirsty and hungry. She came and sat down under the shade of a tree. It was a jambu tree. And when she was hungry and looking about there, she saw a young boy seated on top of the tree. And the boy looked at her and said, "Oh grandma, you look to be very hungry and tired." And she said, "Yes, I'm very tired and hungry. There are a lot of fruits on this tree. Shall I pluck some fruits and throw it down to you? Then you can eat those fruits. It'll be nice for you." She said, "Oh, if you can do it, it'll be a great blessing. Please do it." So then the child says, "Do you want hot fruits or do you want cold fruits? Do you want hot fruits or cold fruits?" So how can fruits be hot? So she was amused and she said, "Okay, in that case, give me the hot fruits. Give me the hot fruit." So immediately this boy started shaking the tree and so the fruits started to fall. Small fruits, no? Jambu fruits are small fruits. Naval Panam Tamil Shalvo. Jamun. Purple color. Very healthy they are supposed to be. So he started shaking the tree in such a way that the fruits fell and they all fell onto the sandy ground in the below, in the dust. So when the fruits fell down into the dust, this old lady took it up and she started blowing the dust away. And so when she was blowing, the child from there said, "Oh, are they too hot? Are the fruits too hot? You're blowing to cool them down." So it was like a beautiful pun of both the word and the action, And so when this small, like a shepherd or a cowherd boy, making a fool of her, impressed her so much, she said, "Who are you? You cannot be an ordinary person. Who are you?" And then of course in our Tamil cinemas, "Enna theriyalaya? Enna nalla paru." All the gods, when they come in disguise, according to our Tamil movies at least, and they say, "Who are you? You did not know me? Look at me thoroughly, look at me deeply," and then ding, then lights will come and sounds will come, and basically a light and sound show. So it turns out to be Muruga Subramanya. So he's got a thing for fruits because he didn't get fruit that day. Why didn't he get the fruit? Because the fruit was jnana. How do you get jnana? Only by using buddhi can you get jnana. Buddhi grahyam atindriyam. Sukham atyantikam yatad buddhi grahyam atindriyam. It is only available to the sharp intellect, viveka. Without viveka, we cannot get it. So who is this Ganesha? Who is this Ganapati? Ganapati is nothing but viveka. That is why, what do? He is Pratama Pandita. He is the first one to be worshipped. Here Swami says, it is for this reason that Vigneshwara is worshipped by one and all before performing any auspicious function, whether it is entering a new house or performing a marriage ceremony or any other religious function. The first thing we've got to do is propitiate Vinayaka. Even when we start singing our bhajans, the first bhajan is a Ganesha bhajan. Meaning what? Before you engage in any activity, activate the buddhi first. Use your buddhi before getting engaged in activity. That is the real reason. It is not that somehow Ganesha is the one person to be worshipped so that all obstacles will be removed. Then the Westerners, Christians and Muslims should not have made any progress at all. Because they don't worship Ganesha before everything. They also build houses and go into new houses. They also perform marriage ceremonies. They also have religious functions. Do they worship Ganesha? So if you don't worship Ganesha, then you will meet with misfortune. Then India, Bharat, especially Sanatana Dharma people who worship Ganesha alone should be successful in this world. Everybody else should be a failure. Is that so? Logic tells you it is not true. So it is not Ganesha worship that is going to do the trick for you. Do you understand? Then what is it? That is why here it is not the external worship, it is activating one's buddhi. Oh, so we must do everything intelligently, then we will be successful. Whether you do it intelligently or intelli-ladily, it doesn't make a difference. The real intelligence is not getting entangled in action. That is why one must activate buddhi before performing action, because otherwise you will get caught up in the consequences of the action and the doership of the action. If you activate buddhi before, some action has to be done. Before doing the action, I am not the doer. What is buddhi's role? What is buddhi's role? Buddhi's role is to show you the omnipresence of divinity. That is what Ganesha does here. Buddhi's role is merely to show you the omnipresence of divinity. Now, how should this buddhi be big? Ganesha is not small. Ganesha is big. I mean, buddhi is predominant. Buddhi is important. That is why he is called Gananayaka, Ganapati, Ganesha, the leader of all the Ganas. He's been Ganasana in all the senses, the mind, the physical senses, Indriyas, everything is a Gana. Who is the master of all of those Ganas? Buddhi. What is beyond the Buddhi? Buddhestu paratas saha is Atma. The Buddhi is the closest to the Atma. That is a Buddhigrahyam. From Atma, then Buddhi, then Manas, then all the senses. These are all Ganas. Who is the Lord of all the Ganas? Ganapati, Buddhi. Atma is Parameshwara. So Parameshwara's son is Buddhi. Atma's son is the Buddhi. Everything else is below this Buddhi. In the Gita, Krishna explains the senses. Above the senses is the mind. Above the mind is the Buddhi. Above the mind is the Atma. He explains. Now, does it make sense here? These are Ganas. All the senses are all different Ganas. Karmendriyas, Jnanendriyas, everything is part of the Ganas. Bhutagana. Panchabhutagana. Ella Panchabhutagana astane. Ella made up of Panchabhutas. Bhutagana andane cholra. Shiva's hordes are called Bhutaganas. But the senses and the mind are the Bhutaganas. And Ganesha is the leader of all of them. Meaning the Buddhi is the one that should command all of these things. But the moment we activate this Buddhi, it means that we are constantly aware of the truth of who we are. We are the Atma. Instead of that, we will, before going to exams, big important exam, big important interview, you're going on a journey somewhere, immediately you'll go and say, Vakratunda Mahakaya, Koti Surya Samprabha, take a coconut and break it in front of Ganesha. No wonder people looked upon us and said we are superstitious. Isn't it? We were not that great also for doing all of these things. From a worldly point, it is all done only for a worldly point of view. Nobody is breaking coconut to Ganesha so to realize the self. Correct? Nobody is breaking a coconut in front of Ganesha in order to realize the self. In fact, that also Swami used to say, it is for realizing the truth. It is ahankara that has to be thrashed, to be broken. Or it is body consciousness because the meat and the blood, the flesh of the coconut and the water inside is like the body. with the hair all around it, with the bone-like structure of the shell. So it's actually like a body. So it's getting rid of body consciousness, or it is breaking the ahankara. So all of these are actually spiritual interpretations or real inner meanings for breaking the coconut, and the purpose of it is to realize the truth. But nobody is breaking coconut for that purpose to Ganesha. We are breaking coconut so that things may go well, things may go smoothly. Adau Vigneshwara Pujam Chagarishye. That's how we start doing anything. First, let us worship Vigneshwara because he will remove all obstacles, we think. Like we saw the other day, we spoke about it. A lady missed the fatal flight that crashed, and she was so happy. She said, "My Ganpati Bappa saved me by putting a lot of obstacles on my way in the form of traffic, which prevented the lady from reaching the airport on time." What a wonder this is. If she hadn't actually said that word Ganpati Bappa, I would not have picked this thing up. She actually said, "My Ganpati Bappa saved me." Immediately that got me thinking. Ganpati Bappa is supposed to be the one who removes obstacles. In her case, he put so many obstacles in her way that she was able to live. So she survived because of all the obstacles. Isn't it wonderful? We think the obstacles are bad things. But when the obstacles are stopping you from falling into ruin, they are good things. The Guru is the greatest obstacle. Isn't he? God, Guru, they are the greatest obstacles, because when you want to rush into the worldly pattern of lifestyle, you remember this fellow and you say, no, I can't. He stands there like a big obstacle in front of you. So who's Ganesha? He's the leader of all the obstacles. The Lord of all the obstacles. The obstacles are his to command. Whether they should come or whether they should go, it is all under his command. So what does that mean? It means getting the buddhi, the depth of intellect to see how things are. That every single thing is an act of grace. Nothing is bad. Nothing is bad. In fact, sometimes even to do pariharam. In our tradition, when things are all going bad, they do parihara. Parihara means some remediation. You do some puja, do some homa, do some yajna, go on some pilgrimage to a particular temple and do remedies for all of these things. But you know what that implies? It implies that you currently have a problem. You're admitting that you have a problem. That things are going wrong for you. If things are not going wrong, why would you need a remediation? Why pariharam? Isn't it? Yes or no? Well, the moment you accept things are going wrong, then you have already given up on God. And the irony is, then you go to a temple to do prayers. What foolishness is this? Think about it. All that happens to us is good. It is coming through His grace. Tatteya anukampamsa samikshamanahana. Everything is grace. But things are all going like this. We better do some puja in order to rectify things. But things are not going according to grace. So you're now going to do puja to win grace. But what is this whole idea? Here's where buddhi comes in. What will buddhi tell you? Buddhi will say, how can there be anything wrong? Everything is happening by His sankalpa. Everything is happening for His pleasure. Everything is happening for my good. What should I remedy in this now? Should I remedy His pleasure? Or should I remedy my good? What needs to be corrected? Buddhi will tell you this. Buddhi will tell you instead, let us accept it as God's will. And let us turn to Him and say, give me the strength and the intelligence to accept your will, to see your will in action. The buddhi. That is why before we do any activity, we have to worship Ganesha. Why? Because the activity may not be successful according to worldly standards. I give you a challenge. I'll give you a challenge if you want to. If you don't accept my words, I'll give you a challenge. From tomorrow onwards, before every activity, you do Ganesh Puja. And see whether everything is a success or not. Do you think everything will be a success? Do you think everything will become a success if you simply do Ganesha Puja? Yes or no? You yourself won't have the faith. Although you'll be loath to admit it. Actually, I should be having the faith. Ideally speaking, I should have the strong faith. No, Ganesha will immediately make it a success. No, ideally you should say that. But praying to Ganapati Bappa, she left home and she missed the flight. Right? She prayed to Ganapati and she left home, but there was so much traffic and she missed the flight. In the end, from a worldly point of view, the mission was a failure. Until the flight was a failure. But Buddhi will tell us, if we invoke Ganesha before doing the activity, if we activate Buddhi before doing the activity, then what will happen? Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm not the doer. It is happening according to His will, for His pleasure and my good. No matter how it turns out, it will be all right. We do not give ourselves enough time to even think on these lines. We rush into activity without even first considering dedicating that action to God and being ready to accept the fruits of the action, because Buddhi is not engaged at all. So this is the real Vinayaka Chaturthi. This is the real significance of Vinayaka Chaturthi. Another thing, let me tell you another thing. Why Chaturthi? Chaturthi is the fourth day of the fortnight. Chaturthi is the fourth day. Why Chaturthi for Ganesha? Why only Chaturthi? Why cannot be Ganesha Panchami? No harm. No. Why Chaturthi? Has anybody thought about it? In Sanskritam, the word for intelligence is Chaturyam. In Hindi, we say, bahut chatur hai. Chatur means clever. Chaturyam means cleverness, intelligence. Chaturan. Solron le Arkolo Chaturan. Tamil undu. Chaturan, appadina clever one artham. Intelligent one artham. So Chaturthi, why Chaturthi? Only Chaturthi? Because it becomes a pun. It is Chaturthi means fourth. The word Chaturthi means fourth, but it also means cleverness, intelligence. And since Ganesha is Buddhi, we celebrate Ganesha only on the Chaturthi, not any other day. There is no reason why Chaturthi has to be selected, no? Ganesha Prathama, Ganesha Dvitiya, Ganesha Tritiya, Ganesha Panchami, Ganesha Shashti, Ganesha Saptami, Cholalame, Ganesha Chaturthi, Vinayaka Chaturthi. Why only Chaturthi? Chaturthi represents, again, Buddhi, Chaturyam, intelligence. So again, in the ancients, there's nothing, otherwise nothing significant about Chaturthi alone for Ganesha. It's not that he was born on Chaturthi. We don't know. No, there is no reference anywhere that he was born on Chaturthi day. Then why Vinayaka Chaturthi? So they tried to give us hints. They must have told in those days, but in case we forget, they also put a hint in. Chaturthi, intelligence, Ganesha, Vigna. Oh, good. An elephant head. Swami used to refer to it as Gajatelivi, elephantine intelligence. Elephants are very intelligent. So they gave him an elephant head to remind us of intelligence, Buddhi. Specifically, no other god has an elephant head. So they gave him an elephant head to remind us of Buddhi. They then gave him a day which will remind us of intelligence, Buddhi, Chaturyam, Chaturthi. Then they weaved in a story of how he very intelligently wins the fruit of jnana. The story. And if you still don't get it, they said he married Buddhi and Siddhi, are the two wives of Ganesha. Buddhi, Siddhi. Buddhi means intelligence. Siddhi means success. So Buddhi and Siddhi are with him. In spite of all of it, we don't have any Buddhi. They even said, knock your head in front of Ganesha. At least some blood flow will be stimulated. Maybe you might start acting a bit intelligently. Pull your earlobes and do squats in front of Ganesha. Now they call it super yoga. Super brain yoga. Dorbir karna. Super brain yoga. Why only for Ganesha? Why not for Subramanya? Why not for Shiva? Why not for Parvati? Why not for Narayana? Do this. No, only for Ganesha. Think about it. Why? Why only for Ganesha? Why knock your head and do squats in front of Ganesha? Are we trying to inspire him to do some exercise? Yo, look at your tummy. At least, look at me. Looking at me, at least you should be inspired to do some exercise. Come, you also do squats. Are we personal trainers for Ganesha? Come, you can do it. I'll do it with you. Anything to do with intelligence, they have tied it only to Ganesha. The rishis. But one mistake they made. They underestimated our foolishness. Because the rishis were intelligent, they thought everybody will be like us. So we'll put all these hints and subtle. They see how Vyasa would have said, see how I put it in like that. Yeah, I'm so good, I'm so clever. Everybody would have said, wow, beautiful, that is so good. But they are grossly underestimated our stupidity. In the end, we will break coconuts and bang our heads, but we will not be intelligent. क्या कर सकता है? So they encrypted everything. And they somewhere down the line, they lost the encryption key. And nobody can figure it out now. Isn't it? Like this, every god, every goddess has got something. Some avatars have to come and tell us all these things. Some you tell us how the three Devis are matched to the Trinity. Brahma has Saraswati, Vishnu has Lakshmi, Shiva has Shakti, Parvati. This is the combination. Why? Why didn't they get mismatched any other way? No, they can't be, because Brahma is creator. So for creation, he needs intelligence, knowledge. So Saraswati is knowledge. Without knowledge, how can you create anything? How can you invent anything? Vishnu is the preserver. To maintain anything, for maintenance, you need money. Without money, you can't maintain anything. The inventor can make it and be broke. Companies will go out of business, inventing company. But you buy their product, you have to keep paying to maintain it. So you need money to maintain the product that has been created. He went broke, but you need to maintain it, you have to spend money, isn't it? So Lakshmi. Shiva is the destroyer. What do you need to destroy anything? Bang, bang, bang. You need physical raw strength to destroy everything. So Shakti, Durga. This is actually the truth. It is not that they are sitting there, otherwise, husbands and wives sitting there and having tea party, and as they suggest movies, all the ladies will go visit and they'll have a fight. We want to make everything like how it is here. We are idiots, so we want to make our gods also more idiotic if possible than us. We should worship Ganesha. Not that Ganesha, that is okay, but this Ganesha. Buddhi Ganesha. The buddhi that has been given to all of us, so that we may understand Parameshwara, who is in us, as the Atma. Parameshwara is the Atma. To understand Parameshwara, we need Ganapati, the buddhi, in the form of Ganesha. So without this understanding, no matter how many modakams you make and eat, you will only get Lambodara. The best you can maintain, achieve, is not Buddhi Ganesha, it will be only Lambodara Ganesha. You will only grow a big belly like his. So we must make an attempt to understand these kind of truths. More importantly, practice it. Before doing any action, take half a second at least to use buddhi, to activate. Okay, let's see what is going to happen. The results are immaterial. At least that much we must remember. So that we don't get caught in it. So that we are not entangled by the action. We are not trapped by the action. Let the actions happen. They have to happen. We cannot prevent them from happening. Let the actions happen. But at least we should know that we should not become caught in it. The karma yoga. Otherwise, mere karma. For karma to become karma yoga, we need the help of Ganesha in the form of buddhi. Sarve bandhu sakina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani vashyantu ma kashit dukha bhag bhavetu loka samasta sakino bhantu. Loka samasta sakino bhantu, loka samasta sakino bhantu. Om shanti, shanti, shanti. Hari Om Tatsat Shri Sai Ishwarar Arpanamastu.